All right, welcome to Website Review Wednesday. My name is Matt Ramage, and
Daniel Solomon here.
yeah, we are from eMarketed, and yeah, we're going to start reviewing websites on a regular basis on Wednesday. So if you have a website you'd like to get reviewed, audited, please submit your website, and we'll show you a page at the end of the website on where you can do that. Today we are going to do a website called Pro Cases. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so we're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about the design, and we're going to talk about speed, and then SEO. So let's go ahead and start off with the design. First of all, this is a website that's probably about 10 years or built about 10 years ago or so. So yeah, it's a site that does custom cases and cases for audio equipment and different things like that. So yeah, Daniel, I guess we'll start off. What's your first yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, just first impressions. You can kind of see the age. I have a larger screen, and the images are kind of pixelated, like the product images. And let's see, we've got just a number of like small design bugs on the homepage that kind of catch my eye right away.
Yep.
Got this. Yeah, we got a live little closing bracket there. That's a link.
Yeah, and it looks like actually when I click over it, yeah, it's some kind of formatting error.
Yeah, so I mean, just based on the URL, it looks like it's trying to load a script. So it looks like a script might not have been linked properly.
Yep. Yeah, one thing that kind of jumps out to me right away is this call res. And I was actually thinking maybe that's a person, but it's most likely California residents 1323. So yeah, I would just probably get rid of this part and just have the call 323.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean
Yeah,
the
if they had
navigation
maybe if they
is
had a toll-free number.
yes, a toll-free number could be good.
Yeah, I mean, if they're singling out California residents, the having two numbers there would make sense, but one number, I don't think you need to. If you only have the one number, I don't know that you need to say California residents.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, I guess we'll just kind of go through. We're going to go through the homepage and a few other pages. We'll talk about probably the contact page, get a quote, and probably a few product pages. So yeah, we're on the homepage now. Navigation is very clear and concise. We've got four kind of main items here. Custom cases. Typically, your first navigation item is most important. So custom cases, stock cases, about, and contact us. Very clear, straight, kind of to the point. So I like that about the sites. Up above it, we've got the get a quote button. Yeah, I feel like that could be definitely done in a different color. We're using that blue in other places of the site, so it definitely kind of gets lost. And usually with get a quote or some kind of button like that, you want to have it stand out a little more.
Yeah, I mean, it might make sense to have the main navigation bar is red. It might make more sense to have the main navigation bar in the kind of darker blue and have the get a quote button in the red, just to like kind of draw more attention to that. Since
Yep.
the navigation's not really I mean, you want people to click on it to get around the site, but it's not really a call to action like get a quote is. So that might be one thing to consider.
Yep. Yeah, on the left here, I kind of feel what they're trying to do is trying to, speak to all these different people that might have these different cases, but I feel, it's a little much. I think it's, you go to Amazon sometimes and you just get lost in all the content. And I think this is definitely a case of that. Also found that some of these, when you click them, like this one, GSA governments, just takes you to a page here with the title. So yeah, who knows? Maybe they're out of stock with those products. But yeah, I would probably just pick your top maybe your top 5 or 6 items that you think that you know that you're selling the most, and probably list those as your top products and hide the rest. Yeah, scrolling further down, we've got the main image here. I like this tagline here: building quality cases for 20 years. It shows they've been in business for a long time, so I feel like that's good. Next, we've got these boxes here, campaign boxes, which the formatting could probably be done a little better. We've got some text kind of crowded in here.
Yeah, I think just dropping the font size a point or two for those kind of box titles there might do the trick.
Yep.
Especially, or it depends if you maybe instead of custom made ATA cases, it could just be custom ATA cases, and that would also solve that particular issue.
Yep. Or even just custom cases. I feel like if you've gotten to this website and you're, you kind of know what you're looking for. You see these images here.
Yep.
So yeah, this next box here, top cases. I'm not sure if what's going on with this. It's possible it's repurposed for these boxes below, or we're missing some content. So you've got customer testimonials, FAQs, and what is ATA. So these are also kind of, you could call these campaign boxes. One thing noticed about the website is the font is a little smaller, so that could definitely be increased in size.
Yeah, and seeing quite a few spelling errors too, just clicking around the site, like customer testimonies there is, something on the homepage, one of the, it's not the top title, but it's one of the larger subtitles on the page, and it's misspelled. So little things like that, I think, take away from customer confidence
Yep.
in a company. So I think that's something to be really, really careful of.
Yeah. I think the last thing I want to touch base on the homepage is just the sign up for mailing list. We've got kind of I think most people these days, when they sign up for a mailing list, they're used to just entering their email and that's about it. So I feel like this form down here takes up a lot of space and it's asking for a lot of information, and people might just not want to add all that information. Although it does have a little star here for required. I'd probably just have an email field and submit and remove this color from it. So just kind of have it blend into the rest of the site.
Yep. The other thing, I mean, they're using kind of an older version of Recaptcha on the site too, where you've got to click "I'm not a robot" and maybe pick some signs, which pictures have roads or bridges in them, that kind of thing. There's a updated version of Recaptcha where most people don't have to do that, and so it's a little more user friendly. Yeah, also in the footer, the social icons kind of give away the age of the site, especially that Twitter icon is probably about 7 or 8 years old at least right now. So that gives away the age of the site a little bit. I'm on a Mac, and one of the things that I'm not seeing on your screen, Matt, is the if you hover over the phone number and the fax number and the email address, the fax number is not linked, but the phone number is on mine is showing a link.
Okay.
And the color is like a dark blue.
Oh, okay.
And that could just be it's like an Apple function of being able to click on a phone number when you're browsing a site and dialing it. But that's something in the design. When kind of styling the site, specifying the link colors for phone numbers would be a good thing here, because I'm seeing it in a dark blue and it kind of disappears on my browser.
Yep.
Like the standard link blue.
Yep. All right, let's go to the next page. Custom cases. So yeah, we've got a gallery of custom cases. One of the things that we've noticed kind of through clicking through the sites, and also we'll get into one of their competitors a little bit further on in this session, but we thought definitely product video or product pictures. Especially this one. This is the first picture you get to on this website, on this page, and it's just there's a lot of stuff in the background here that could probably just do to have like all white and just the product, so you really focus in on the
Yep.
product.
Yeah, for sure.
So I've noticed there were some duplicate pictures in here as well. So yeah, it's, people are expecting high quality images of your product, and if you don't have those, it's definitely worth the investment to have better pictures of your product. So yeah, we've got some text. One thing that's, people aren't always willing to kind of read through all of this information, so it's definitely good to have kind of a mix of, maybe have this first line and then have some bullet points of kind of, what makes your custom cases unique and different. So have some bullet points, so when people, if people might not even read this first paragraph, they might just read custom cases and then they might skip down to the bullet points.
Yeah, I feel like most people are coming for the pictures, I would imagine, just to kind of
Mm,
see. Um, yep.
yep. So yeah, I guess let's follow the path of, if I was looking for custom cases, what would I do next? So I'm going to click this get a quote. So yeah, if you notice that it actually took you to open a new tab. So we definitely don't recommend, you're not leaving the website, don't drive them to a
Mhm.
brand new window or tab. So if I click this one up here, this stays within the same tab. So you definitely want to have that get a quote link work the same way. So yeah, this for me, not specifically sure of their industry, but it's definitely seems like a lot of information to ask.
Mhm.
Site visitor for the first time to their website to ask them all of this information that could be a little overwhelming to someone.
Yeah, yeah, it's a long form, and unless they also have a quick way to get a ballpark on a custom unit, like this form seems to be for somebody who really knows what they want, like knows exactly what they want and want to get a price on it. But I believe a fair amount of consumers, may not know exactly what they want. They might have an idea, but they don't know the specifications, or they want to talk, about some of the options that are available to them. And so, some sort of quick, ballpark estimate type form would seem to be appropriate. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a full-fledged form on the site to get all the information a company needs to provide an accurate quote. But I think there is some value to a more like a shorter form
Yep.
for kind of general uh, estimate questions.
Yeah, yeah. I'd be curious to see how often this gets filled out, but
Yep.
if you want to have this long quote, that's fine too. I would maybe give them the option of, filling out a short quote with just, email, company name and, what they
Yep.
want. And then also, if they want to fill out the longer quote, then they'll fill that out. So
Yeah, yeah. So like a couple options, like I don't know exactly what I want, and I do know exactly what I want, and depending on which one you are, um, you could have kind of a different experience there in the as far as filling out the form goes.
yep. All right, let's go to actual product page. I'm going to go to work boxes. So yeah, this page, we've got a product image. This one's a little better than some of the others. With
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least we've got the product over kind of a white background.
Hmm.
We've got our text here again, kind of like what I said earlier. This definitely seems like these could all be added into bullet points. So I would,
Yeah, yeah. I think that was, it looks to me like that was the intention, was somebody tried to maybe put some bullet points in here and it didn't stick. And so it ended up paragraph instead.
yeah, yep. So yeah, this looks like a main kind of category view. So if I was to just be at this, if I didn't scroll any further, I might get confused as far as what do I do next? But if you scroll down a little further, then you kind of see their different
Hmm.
types of work boxes.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and click on one of those. So we've got bullet points here, which is good. Um, this CPDF for more info. This PDF is actually on the page that we were just on. So I would, you could link it here too.
Yep. Yeah, it's interesting. Some of them have the white backgrounds, and some of them are photoed, with the kind of factory floor background.
Yep. All right. So, oh, I guess one last thing with the design, or it's obviously, we've when the site was built, people probably weren't accessing the site on mobile as much. But yeah, we noticed the site is not mobile friendly. So, when you do size it down to, um, let me see here. So yeah, if I'm on my iPhone, this is kind of what I'm going to see. The site isn't responsive, so I'm going to have to kind of pinch and zoom in to
Yep.
read the different content. So
Yeah, it's like a 3-point font or something by the time it gets down on your phone.
yeah, so um, you know, a lot of sites that we build, we're seeing, anywhere between 50 and 60% of people that are accessing websites these days are on a mobile device or
Mhm.
tablet. So, it does vary from industry to industry, but you definitely want to give your users an optimal experience on whatever device they're on.
Yep.
So yeah, let's go into speed. There are definitely different speed tools out there. Pingdom is one of the bigger ones. Google also has
Mhm.
a website speed test as well. So this, one of the things that's important, and we'll get into that in a second with SEO, but how fast your site loads is important to SEO, but also to just the user experience. So, you want your website loading fast, and when somebody's on a mobile or any computer, you want it to load quickly. So, um, yeah, we found that the website speed was pretty decent. It shows a C here, but we've got an 80 out of 100. Seems like that should be a B. But yeah, page size 844 kilobytes. That's pretty small. We're seeing
Yep,
newer sites that are several megabytes. So it's definitely a good
definitely.
page size.
Yep.
Load time 1.36 seconds, also pretty decent.
Hmm.
So yeah, so one of the things that you can kind of look through with these various tools, this one and the Google page speed, you can look at kind of the areas where it does rate you lower. And these are areas where you might not know about, but you might be able to hand this off to your web developer to fix these things.
Yeah, all those Fs could be fairly easily corrected, at the server level, without a ton of extra programming.
Yep. So yeah, on to SEO. So we'll go into a couple different tools that we use. But first, I just want to go back to, I guess, the homepage. So one of the most important things of SEO is actually the title tag. And so as I'm hovering over the title that shows up in the navigation bar, you can see pro cases, home,
Mhm.
ATA cases, custom cases, flight cases, LED. So um, you definitely want to have custom title tags on all of the different pages. So if you do, if I'm on the home page and I want to see what the title tag is, I can do a right click and I can do view page source. That's going to show me this actual code of the website. So if you do a search for title, you'll see this is the title for
Mhm.
custom cases. So one of the things I noticed with this is that custom cases is used twice. So
Mhm. It's using up the
um,
space.
yeah, so this could actually get you in trouble with Google. This could be considered keyword stuffing. So you definitely don't want to repeat keywords over and over. I also found this title in general just to be a little bit too long. So one of the tools that has been around forever is moz.com, and it actually allows you to pop in the title. So I could take that title. Actually, I already did it here. So you could see how much of the search engine is actually showing in the results. So you could see it's only, it gets cut off here.
Yep.
So definitely recommending between 50 and 60 characters that go into your title. And the one that was on this page was about 100. It was over
Mm.
100 characters, so a little bit long. Um, Keywords, this used to be important back in the day. Meta keywords, not so much important today, but the description is still important here. So you want to make sure the description is different on each page, and you want it, ideally it would be a sentence too. So
Mm-hmm.
this looks like, we've got leading manufacturer of, and then it just kind of lists the
More
products
keywords.
again.
Yeah.
Yep, keywords. So if you can, ideally that would be a sentence. So yeah, some of the different tools out there, as far as like, you can run your website through other websites to kind of find out more about them. Probably two of the biggest in the web marketing industry are SEMrush and Ahrefs. And so this is SEMrush here, and so I already popped in the domain. And so you see several different things here, but one of the important things for SEO is backlinks. So this is actually a pretty good amount of backlinks. So these are websites that are actually pointing back to pro cases. So one of the Google algorithms, one of the things they look for is, websites pointing back to you. So that's kind of, one of the standard things that they look for in ranking websites. If you had 0 websites pointing to you, that would be would be bad. So 759 is decent. Out of those 759, we've got 163 referring domains. So that basically tells us we've got 163 domains that are generating these 750 backlinks.
Yeah, so it's roughly what, like 4 or 5 links per domain
Yep.
average? I mean, there may be more for if there's some that have a lot of links, but it's the average.
Yeah, and we could look in to kind of see, what type of links these are. A lot of them are text, so that means, a piece of
Mm-hmm.
text that is linked on another website. Some are image. And so, yeah, we can actually, with these different tools, we can look to kind of see who's linking to us. So, and we can tell if, if a link was lost or if it was gained. We can see which pages they're linking to. One of the things that Daniel and I noticed looking through this was that actually they're getting a lot of links for iPhone cases for some reason. They're actually linking to this image for some reason.
It's a giant iPhone case.
A giant iPhone case, yeah. So yeah, it's important to look at your links. You'd want to go through and kind of determine, it would actually, these different tools would tell you if some of these links are questionable. If you get links from sites that are spammy, that could be get you in trouble with the search
Mm-hmm.
engine. So you want to make sure and review these on a regular basis, or at least have the company, if working with a marketing company, you want to have them review your links on a regular basis. And so if you did have a bunch of links that were questionable or spammy, you could actually tell Google to not pay attention to these, questionable links.
Right, right. So you can't make somebody else take a link down to your website, but you can tell Google at least that hey, don't count it against us.
Right. Yep. And you can, I mean, that is definitely a technique, you could reach out to websites and ask people, but sometimes, you know, you sometimes you won't get a response, or often times
Right.
you won't get a response. So yeah, back to the site with SEO. Search engines, they love text, and so one of the things you want to definitely make sure that you're talking about your text. You're talking about, so let's say you're trying to optimize for custom cases. You're using it in your title tag up at the top. You're using it in your description that goes in the code, but you're also using it in your text as well. So we've got
Mm-hmm.
title here. You want to make sure you're using it within your text as well. And then ideally you would have a link. Custom cases could actually be linked within the text.
And how important are H1 tags these days?
Still important. Yeah. So can you tell me if that's an H1?
If you right click on it, well, I guess let's see
Oh,
if you
inspect. Yep.
yeah, you can see if the title is yeah, H1.
H1.
Yep, so that's good.
Awesome. Oh yeah, right up there. Yep.
So that's good.
So yeah, yeah, I would, just, I mean, there's a bunch of different things you could do. I would, if you're trying to target these different things, I would definitely fill out content for these pages. So GSA government, I would have some images and then
Hmm.
text that speak to, this keyword. So I noticed on, like this one, SKB cases, also, we just got the word, but no content. So,
Yeah. Yeah, you really want your users to have a good experience, and when they're, running into empty pages like this, it's not that great of an experience.
yep. So let's, as we were using one of these tools to kind of go through the website, we found a competitor that was ranking for similar keywords. That competitor is roadcases.com. So yeah, we found this to be, a newer site and, much cleaner. The site is responsive. We've got, the product images are done very professionally with, I
Hmm.
would say all of the product images are done. What do you call it, Daniel? Lightbox or?
Yeah, like, some sort of light box or in a studio, either or, in
Yep.
order to get the products on a white background.
So yeah, we found, let's see here. So very easy to kind of click through. One thing we noticed with this site and that the other site didn't have, was we're showing pricing for all the different products. So
Yeah. Yeah, back on Pro Cases, that seemed more like just an informational, like these are the products you could um, acquire from us. Um, we do make custom cases, but here's some other products that you could get from us. But there's no way to actually buy the product on procases.com, whereas this competitor is giving visitors a chance to, actually purchase the cases
yep,
um, there. So it looks like Road Cases also does custom cases. So they provide similar services to Pro Cases and do seem like a competitor. I mean, I have no idea where they're located compared to one another, but they seem like similar businesses.
yep. And yeah, one thing with I liked on all their product images, you've got this free shipping and it's in a
Hmm.
different color. So
Yeah,
definitely, you land
stands
on
out.
it and it's obvious that they do free shipping, and you can see that on this past page too. They've got the free
Yep.
shipping image. So it's very clear as you're surfing throughout the website.
They really want you to know that.
Yeah, they do free shipping. But yeah, here we go. Features. We got the bullet points, much easier to read than, blocks of text.
Hmm.
We've got the price, got the title.
They give you a heads up about the lead time too on that. Usually ships within 2 weeks. That's definitely something that's good to know if you're in the market for one of those products.
Yep,
It gives you some options there. So
yep. And we've got additional information, and this is where your, description could go. But again, if somebody's kind of skimming, they might just kind of go right past that and go, okay, what, is this
yeah, looking for dimensions,
looking for
looking for, yep.
dimensions? We got free shipping again.
Yes.
Manufacturers, them. One thing I like too is this here is a quick, need some help. We've got a little customer service picture here, adds a
Yep.
little human touch to it. Um, and then it's just short, we've got email, comments. So super
Yep.
simple, um, much more simpler than, asking somebody for all of this information.
Yeah.
And then lastly, yeah, we've got some, credit card logos, and we've got some seals from, this is GeoTrust for showing that the website is secure.
Hmm.
Um, I noticed one thing with the Pro cases is that it's showing non-secure in the browser
Right.
bar. I know they're not selling information, so nobody's providing credit cards, but it would be an easy fix to make that secure. You just want to
Yep.
make sure you have a SSL certificate installed on the website.
Yeah. Yeah. And even if you're, uh, even if it's not payment information, personal identifiable information being sent through a website is, is potentially at risk. So
Yep.
there, even if somebody's not making a purchase, they might feel uncomfortable, interacting with your site without an SSL there to encrypt the information being sent.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, more and more people these days. I mean, you're hearing about, credit card fraud and different things, and I think just having not secure up there in the browser bars, I mean, that alone could, like,
Yeah.
people might want to, they're, oh, I'm I'm going to go to a different site.
Yeah.
And you can see with this site,
Yep.
you've got the little lock up there.
And you see some of the hosting companies are offering, even for these days, are offering at an additional expense, some giant, like, green
Yeah, green.
trusted thing there. So it's something that businesses are investing in to try to set themselves apart as a secure partner to do business with online. Um, and having it not trusted there is definitely kind of at the bottom of the uh, trust barrel.
Yep. All right. Well, in closing, yeah, I mean, we definitely suggest pro cases. I think it's probably time for them to revise their websites. I mean, there probably are ways they could probably stick with the current design if they wanted to and make it responsive, but it's probably been enough time. It's probably time to probably go for just like a brand new site.
Yeah, and like comparing pro cases to one of their what appears to be one of their competitors, the pro cases site seems to me to be kind of like a brochure or a business card, whereas the road cases site seems to function more like a salesperson, another salesperson on the staff to, like, actually uh, transact and to sell things. And it seems to built to convert visitors into customers, whereas the pro cases site just seems to um, provide some information. And so I would guess that road cases probably performs a lot better conversion wise than pro cases does.
Yep. It's possible too, like when pro cases was built, I mean, I'm sure from then till now, I mean, the amount of money spent online, e-commerce is
Oh yeah.
continue, people are more and more comfortable with, buying things,
Yep.
859, maybe 10 years ago, people were less, you know,
Make those large purchases on the internet.
yep.
Yep.
Well, great. Well, that is our website review.
Nice.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
If you'd
thanks for
like
coming.
us to review our website, please go ahead to review.emarketed.com and you can submit your own sites. And yeah, on Wednesdays, we're going to be going through, originally we thought we'd go through 3 or 4 websites, but we found that each website review takes anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes. So,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can find more about us at emarketed.com. And yeah, we'd love to have you. This is a live meeting too. So if you'd like to come on and ask questions, if your site is a site that we review, or if you just want to come on and ask questions as we go through our reviews, you're welcome to do that too.
Mhm.
We are meeting on Zoom. So yeah, thanks for listening.
Thanks.